to fucking Rig Rundown on the motherfucking road. Here with fucking Adam from Archives. How's it going?
All good. All
we
good.
We are
having some Guinness on a Tuesday.
Oh man, Guinness on Tuesday. I haven't even poured mine yet. We're at the Output
Get that
Music
poured,
Festival in the Mac Theatre.
Here we are.
Here we are. Excellent day so far. We're watching Matt Bacon, giving us Matt's
some good
bits.
input. Some good input.
Very good input. Hoping to talk to him later. And I came here officially on a wee work mission, on a work conference, and I was very, very pleasantly surprised to bump into yourself.
It's worked out to serve you. It's worked out to serve you,
bro. So come in. Was by myself. Got a wee text me like, dude, are you at Output? And
here we are.
Met yourself. Here we are. So
we are here.
Yeah.
Day drinking.
Making the most of it, doing the work. So Adam, you're on Archives. Archives are doing fucking mad shit. These are going.
Thank you very much.
Fucking all over the place. You've got Matt Heafy from Trivium sharing your stuff. You're on the Not Fest official playlist. You were opening for fucking Skin Dread in the Limelight. How is everything going in Archives? What's the crack at the minute? How are you dealing with all this?
I mean, it's good fun. It's all good fun. It's a lot of work as well, obviously, which is important to say. Like everything we've done comes from a lot of emails and messages and getting rejected, but
a lot of emails, a lot of rejection, a lot of trying things out. You probably get knocked back more than you're taking on.
Well, you do, yeah. But say
all part of it.
Say you fucking threw 10 darts at the dartboard and one of them hits and the rest of them hit the floor. That one's worth it, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know.
That's fucking brilliant, man. It's inspirational seeing you guys out there, like achieving everything you're achieving. It's good. Like, I'm sure there's loads of other guys out there in local bands, you know, wondering how to go about it, how to try and make things happen. Seeing you guys out there making things happen. If you were gonna give any advice to anyone starting out, to try and give even just one thing to start off with, what would you say?
I would say personally for me, it's not about like, we haven't released anything, but we want to do this crazy shit that you see your favorite bands doing. I would say the best shout is do something and see, as long as you're always doing something you've never done before, you're growing. Like, we've never played this venue before. We've never done this kind of video before. We've never done this kind of thing before. You're always doing something you've never done before. Then it's worth doing because it's always progress.
Brilliant.
As long as you're not repeating and you just keep doing new stuff, it's all progress and it's worth doing.
Just keep it fresh.
Yep, literally.
Don't do the same thing twice. Basically, is that what you're
saying? I mean, you can do the same thing twice, but as long as you're always consistently trying to do something a bit different from what you've done before, then it's something that's worth doing, if you know what I mean. Even if it doesn't work out the way you want it to, it's like it's trial and error. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's always worth doing things. Because why not? You know?
Absolutely, man. Like, supporting Skin Dread in the Limelight, that was really impressive. When I seen that, give you a round of applause.
It was good fun.
In the house.
Good guys as well.
How'd you go about landing that? Like, what did you do? Did you speak to Skin Dread themselves? Did you go to the Limelight? Did you just fucking get attention? Did you wait for them to come to you?
I mean, to be honest, like, just sort of started networking, speaking to the right people who work for the right events team and stuff like that, and then just sending the emails, that kind of thing, you know, being the spam fucking artist.
Brilliant.
But yeah, it was a good gig. It was really good. It ended up sold out in the end, which was fucking cool.
Awesome.
And we ended up having some drinks with Skindred after. The drummer and stuff kept making me gin and tonics. It was a good night. Nice. Really good guys as well, I have to say.
Yeah, brilliant, man. I'm sorry I missed it. I wanted to go to that. It looked like a brilliant night. Any other things like that on the horizon? Any other big supports or any other big contacts coming up?
We've nothing really at the minute, but we're always working on something, you know what I mean? At this time of the year, we always sort of calm down. Like, at the minute, This is winter, you know. So, like, we always calm down, start working on new material and things like that, and start working towards the next thing. But yeah, we're always gunning for something, you know.
Brilliant. You were saying to me earlier before we started filming, you've got a wee. Can we talk about it yet? January.
Well, I don't know when this is going out, but we're doing something cool in January.
Nice.
I'll not say too much about it, but something cool in
different?
England. But
Nice.
yeah,
Well, hopefully that all fucking works out and we
Yeah.
can promote it. That's
It
fucking
should, a
brilliant.
couple of weeks it should be coming out. But we're
Yeah.
doing something cool. We're doing something cool.
Last time you were in Belfast, you were playing with my own mates in Nyland
The boys.
at the boys.
The boys.
I sadly missed that one again, but how'd it go? What was the crack?
I was a killer night. Those guys
Yeah.
absolutely fucking smashed it. They were really, really good. Every band was good. If It Bleeds opened tonight, absolutely fucking killed it.
Yeah, they're a band I have a lot
One of my favourite
attention
new bands in
on.
Belfast.
It's rare
Good
a
lads as
brand
well.
new band gets the attention right away, and they did.
100%. This is the thing too. Those guys in different bands have been working for a long time, you know. So
Right.
it's like good to see them sort of finding exactly what they want to be now. You know, it's cool.
Nice.
Like, and Nyland obviously crushed it.
Yeah, bastards.
Good group of good, solid musicians. You know, obviously, you know,
Yeah,
it was a good night.
Fucking right, man. What's your next plans for a hometown show like Belfast or in around?
So, in terms of over here, at the minute, we don't have anything booked. Whenever this goes out, maybe we will. I don't know. A lot of the time, we think of these things, and it's like within a couple of weeks, it happens.
Yeah.
So it could be at any point. So I would say, if you want to see us in Belfast, keep an eye out. But right now, I can't say when. But
Okay, cool. Well,
Shouldn't be
that's
too
good.
long. Shouldn't be too long.
Soon. It's earlier when we were at this conference here, and we ducked out for pints, and we had so much good conversation going. I'm struggling to remember it here because it would have made great talking points for our show.
Thought it would have.
Ah, Jesus, yeah. But we're talking about a lot of things. We're talking about you guys going on tour. Last time you were away on tour. That was brilliant. What was that like?
So I think at this point our last tour was the Noblest in Ignorance tour, which is to promote our second album, which we kind of went all over. It was spread out over a couple of months, so it was more of a collection of weekenders rather than it being one tour, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But we started it in the Isle of Man,
I
which
love
was
Man.
something that for me it was kind of a bit of a mad idea to go to the Isle of Man because like you don't see a lot of people go there obviously as bands.
And what's the scene like over there? Is it
It's killer, man.
fucking
Honestly.
right?
Like, I think it started because every time we're coming back on tour, getting the boats back from England, at a midway point, all of a sudden you get reception on your phone, right? And you're like, oh, no way, are we nearly home? Then you go outside and you're, oh, welcome to the Isle of Man, comes up on your texts, right? And every single time we've done that, I've said, why don't we go play there? Because there is people there.
Yeah.
There's a town there. There's a whole
You get a
community
little
of people
ping
there.
on your phone.
Yep.
Like
I wanted to go and play there.
visit the civilization.
We went and we did it, which was a lot of effort. Obviously, it was a lot of contacting and email and stuff. We found a scene there, and it was absolutely killer.
Brilliant.
The gig we played there was stage diving, there was circle pits, there was just everything. Like I think there's some videos of it online and stuff, and it was like a lot of effort, but totally worth that one trip, you know.
Fucking right, man.
And
What
there was
the
some
venue called?
beers as well. There were some beers. So the venue's called Mad Jack's,
Mad
right?
Jacks.
which is like it's an axe throwing place through the day, but at weekends
Brilliant.
they hold club nights and stuff there. Like they've had Limp Bizkit tribute bands play there. I think they maybe had a Korn tribute.
That sounds dangerous. Like you've got cunts throwing axe around
So
while there's violent metal playing.
There is no axe throwing when you're playing, thankfully.
Yeah,
But,
you can have that.
The room's just kind of perfect for it, and they use like kegs as like the barrier with the stage and everything. And it's kind of like
Brilliant.
it has like a really cool sort of DIY vibe. It's good. It's a really good spot.
Fucking
I would definitely implore more bands
Isle of Man.
try and go there because it is definitely worth. And the people there appreciate.
Never
making the
would have
effort.
even thought of it.
Yeah.
So you said that's actually really cool because somewhere you wouldn't think of going,
Yeah.
and it's got this thriving scene. Probably begging.
And there's
for
bands
something
there
to
that
go
are
on.
fucking solid as well, man.
Yeah.
There's good
Awesome.
bands there.
Brilliant,
Good people.
man. Brilliant.
100%.
That's class, man. Yeah, well, you hear yourself. We're missing all the other boys in the band. Do you want to give them a shout out?
Shout out Stuart, shout out Paul, shout out Jack, all the boys. That's my lads. That's the team that make me look good, you know what I mean? I'm just here to talk shit.
Yeah. Well, no, it's. I've actually been on Stuart for a while to come on. Stuart, come on, motherfucker.
You're wanted to come on.
Talk about guitars. This is supposed to be a guitar show, but today
I know nothing
we're on
about
the road.
guitars.
Ron, this is a conference show today. This is just general music crack.
100%.
We've had great fun today. We were watching Matt Bacon from Bacon's Bits.
Yep.
Give a great talk on how to do all your
Social media marketing.
Yeah, and that's the correct. But this is brilliant. Output Music Fest, they have it every year. We were talking amongst ourselves. Like, we were saying we were watching the talks, and there's a lot of information given that Adam and I are like, yeah, we know this. But not everybody knows this. This is a great opportunity for anyone who wants to learn anything, who maybe isn't sure of things, who maybe is afraid to ask, to come down here and have it all just displayed out and opened out. I think it's fucking brilliant. Yeah.
100%. Like, as I was saying, like, even if you feel like you know a lot, like, say you're like, oh, I pretty much know my way around marketing or social media or whatever it is. If you come here and you know most of it, then if you go to the talks and you know most of what they're telling you, then what you know is validated, right? You're like, oh, this is how it is. It is then validated.
Even if you think you know everything, you'll actually get a little tidbit of some new information that changes the whole fucking game.
Yeah. So if you know 90%, that 10% that you don't know, oh, maybe you'll apply it, maybe you won't. But I mean, it's been worth hearing it, because maybe it's a different outlook on the whole thing than you know.
Yeah. And it's been very valuable. And it wasn't just Matt Bacon's talk. We looked at all the other talks they're on about. I mean, a lot of it's general band stuff, how to conduct your band, how to market yourself, and it's great. But there's, like I said, there's the odd bit of information that comes through that you weren't expecting, and that's the thing that you'll take
100%.
away. And it's brilliant. And just to see this, everyone in Belfast out, all musicians, all together, all
on a Tuesday morning, might I say.
On a Tuesday morning.
A Tuesday morning, the place is packed. All the Greybos, which is good to see. Everybody's learning.
And it's great. Yep. So, your last recording you did with someone I talk about a lot on this podcast. Probably too much. Probably needs to be sponsoring me by now. Josh, JSR Audio. You've been recording with him. You wouldn't go anywhere else. You've been with him the whole time. He's done everything.
Well, this is the thing, is that I've been going to Josh, like, personally, in different bands since I was about 15, 16, in all honesty. Like, we used to go to, when he was learning how to do it, all those years ago, is probably, I don't know how many years ago now, like, but it's a long time. Like, when he was learning how to do it, like, we went to him when I was a child, like his family and stuff would crack up with the noise, we're making on the drum kit or whatever.
Something I still put up with today.
It's like, I feel like we've grown with him, and I'm just comfortable with him. So that to me is the music home in Belfast. And I implore anybody that's unsure about the way their recordings come out somewhere else or whatever, it doesn't. I feel like they don't understand metal. Go to Josh.
When you actually have like some sort of personal relationship, when you've got,
it's half the battle.
It's half the battle. If you're mentally in sync and you're all together, that you can't forge that.
100%.
And Josh, he's like an extra sixth member of your band,
and
sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need that outside perspective. Sometimes you need somebody to say yes.
See
no.
Something that it should be that maybe you don't know.
To say yes, that's great. Keep doing that, or no, that's fucking bollocks. Stop it.
100%.
And it's paid off, man. Going to Josh, he really knows your sound. He really has your whole production.
No, he knows us inside and out. And he knows us as people inside and out, which I think is half of the battle.
That's half the battle, yeah. And it's brilliant. You guys did a lot of videos as well. You used Kyle Colby.
Yep. Flat out. Big shout out, Kyle.
I've never made a video with Kyle. I would love to one day.
You should.
Who knows?
You should.
Maybe it could happen. Who knows?
He's the culty gentleman. You know what I mean?
But you guys did it. You did it in the Crumlin Road jail. You did the big prison one. That was fucking cool.
That was spooky, is what that was.
Yeah.
So we hired out the jail, and then whenever we were shooting there, it was nighttime, right? And they hired one security guard to look after us for the whole prison, the entire prison. And I think we were there to maybe 1 or 2 in the morning, something like that. And when I say one security guard, I mean this guy, he was about 18, right? So he was young, right? And he's just sitting in his hut, basically, right? And we're allowed free reign in the jail. And we're filming in the tunnel that connects the jail to the courthouse. Like, we filmed the scene, we're running through there. I think that was the last scene, maybe at like 2 in the morning or something. And see, whenever you're like, we did a scene, if you watch the video, you'll see it. I think it's maybe the last scene in the video. where we're running through that tunnel. I think it's me maybe running through that tunnel into the darkness. See, whenever we shot that a couple of times. See, whenever you're doing that at 2 a.m. in that location of that jail, that is proper spooky. Like, and I wouldn't really it would take a lot to scare me, but being in there at like 2 a.m. filming, and it's only us and one guy, and God knows where he is. It is a spooky place.
Fair play, dude.
Yeah, it was good fun though. Definitely.
I think I would.
It was good fun though.
It was good, and the video was fucking brilliant.
Thank you very much,
Kyle
man.
did a great job. What's you any plans for any more videos or any more songs, or can you tell me? Is it a secret?
So it's not a secret. We're working on some stuff. We're always working on stuff. Like, regardless of like if we've just released something, we're always like we have an album or something we're working on, or like a couple of singles, or like we're always trying to cook something. You know what I mean? So that you're always like a couple ahead of where.
Yeah. There's always a few plates spinning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You want to be a few steps ahead of.
Like you don't want to have everything out and then be like, oh, we have nothing. You always want to have a couple in the.
It's got to be finished before you show it.
Exactly.
Brilliant, man. Brilliant. That's cool, man. So, you've done videos with Kyle. You've done recording with Josh. Have you any ambition or scope of taking things beyond this little beautiful country of ours? You want to take Archives out of here? You've played England before. Any plans about like with you guys? I'd be thinking about like eyeing up tour in Europe. You got to be looking at next. What's happening?
Well, yeah. I mean, like in all honesty, like we've looked into Europe and stuff, and like it's obviously something that's on our scope. Obviously, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It always will be, and we will do it. Basically.
Amsterdam. We talked about that earlier. Amsterdam.
go over there and end up skinned. But yeah, I think it's the thing with going overseas, especially with England, is like it's all about just networking. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if like say you've never been to England as a band, and you're like, oh, I would love to play somewhere that isn't in Ireland.
Yeah.
Spend the money, get on the book, kind of thing. Like, to me, how you start that out is you find a band in England that are on your level, maybe a wee bit above you. Wee bit above you always helps.
And make friends with them.
And then just be like, this is sick. It's cool. Would love to maybe do something with you guys. Mm-hmm. Whether we come over play with you, maybe they come to Ireland, whatever. It's just all about networking. You know what I mean? And I think just being fucking nice to people like makes half the difference.
Dude, I swear to fuck, I think half of my things I can attribute to any success I've had is just how nice I was to somebody and how much they liked me. And that makes all the fucking difference.
100%.
I guess it's why anyone wants to watch you come and sing anywhere. It's because they must like you a little bit. And they're like, what's this guy's story? What's he going to say?
Yeah. No, I think like just like if you send those messages and like say maybe you find a band in England or maybe they're bigger than your band or whatever, and you send a message, you comment on something, and maybe they ignore it, or maybe it comes up seen they've read that you've messaged them a paragraph about let's do something or whatever. Like just be prepared to take that kind of thing on the chin. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not the end of the world.
Also, it's a great motivator. See, when I was younger, I was a huge fan of the band Bleeding Through. Do you remember them?
Oh yeah.
And do you remember MySpace? When I was like 18, this is going back a long time, not that long, but I used to send them messages, and they used to fucking write back. I used to think it was the fucking coolest thing in the world. I was like, whoa, Bleeding Through, fucking messaging me back, and it makes all the difference. Just connecting with your friend.
That's literally it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I'm still a fucking Bleeding Through fan. I still fucking watch that shit every day. Probably because they cared when I was younger.
Yeah, they cared about me.
Fucking cared,
It is half the battle. Just be nice. If somebody compliments what you're doing, even if they like can't do something that benefits you, like that's not everything. You know what I mean? If somebody's nice and they're like, "Oh, your music's sick," just take the time to reply to them.
Fucking right, man.
Don't ignore people. You know what I mean?
That's brilliant. That's cool, man. So like when Archives started, I remember you used to be in a load of previous bands yourself.
Yes. None to mention.
None to mention. But when Archives started, it felt like a serious level up. It felt like you took everything you did previously, you realized what works, what didn't, and you're like, right, kick all the crap out, kick it into gear. Here we go, and then archives come out, and it was like a, you know what I mean? It was a whole different kettle of fish. Like everyone seemed to get their shit together, knew what they were doing. It's like you all sort of agreed that you were gonna be archives. You all agreed to this thing, connected to the vision, and pushed it forward together. And it really feels like that, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's all learning curve. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I've bands and stuff I've done before that, like, if you pull it up now, I would cringe. Do you know what I mean? Like,
me too.
I would. Like, everybody should. Like, but like, as you say, it's all learning curve. Like, even if you were pushing something that, like, now you'd be like embarrassed about, right? Maybe you picked up something when you were doing that is a good learning curve now. That you're like, oh,
Yep.
I figured out how to do this kind of thing. Then I figured out not to do that kind of thing. Then like you bring that forward, you know. So it's like you really like, as long as you're doing something, like it's worth doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, fucking right. Like archives. When I first seen you, I was really impressed. I loved it.
Like
And then it was my old band, Nyland. We were talking about doing a show together. And you're like, yeah, fucking right, we'll do a show together. And it was cool to meet up again, you know, in later life, doing these other things.
Yep.
And, man, it's cool to see you guys still on it. Like I said, you landed the fucking the Skin Dread support. You're getting on the Notfest playlists. You're getting Matt Heafy sharing you. It just seems to be on, up, and up, and up.
Yep, 100%.
You got to keep that momentum going.
100%. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the situation where it looks like a lot, like, oh, it's amazing kind of thing, but it's like a lot of work. Do you know what I mean? Like, but you just got to keep working. You know what I mean? But I'm massively appreciative of everything we've done so far, and if it stopped now, I'd be happy. But with everything we've done, but
that's the thing.
That's not where I'm going to start.
If
I'm not going to stop there.
I'd be happy, but also,
yeah, I'm not stopping.
We're not even started yet.
100%. Yeah. 100%. And there's like so many good bands from here that it's like you can't even name them all. You know what I mean?
You'd be here all
So
day. It's like a
everybody's working hard. It's good to fucking see. You know.
Like I've played going from here, and you go and visit England, and you go and visit Scotland. I have never seen a scene like ours. I don't know, like everyone says their scene is the best, but honestly, ours really is. Like it's like we'll fight you. You know, like bring it on. Come on, the fuck.
It's a bit madder here.
It's a bit madder here. Our characters can beat your characters, hands down.
the thing is as well. Once you take it over to England and stuff, you realize how even the scene connected around England to here is actually it's like the whole thing is small.
Oh, why?
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd be surprised. Like I've mentioned that where I'm from in England before, like with people I've been talking to in the smoking area at a gig, right? And they've been like, oh, such and such a band are from there, and their bands in my mind are more like they were a local band and they never played in England, but people in England are aware of them. So
really?
Like,
so locals from here
yep.
are national staples over the water. Like who?
Like people are. I can't remember who it was, but there was a
like
band.
Crawling.
Well, the Crawling.
Crawling are an international band.
They're
at this
international.
point. Yeah,
point,
that's what I'm saying.
We played festivals in England that they're on.
Are you hearing back about over the water?
See, there was one band, but I can't remember the name for the life of me who it was. But there was a band that to me always were. They're a Belfast band, right?
Yep.
But somebody mentioned them to me in a smoking area of a venue, and I was like,
whoa,
you know of them? They're like, oh yeah, they're like Belfast hardcore. I remember thinking, so it's actually translating over there to the point where people are picking it up. It's interesting, you know what I mean?
Was that Embrace Execution?
No. People over there should know of them.
People
I'm sure they
everywhere
do.
should know about Embrace
I'm sure
Execution.
They do. That's my
Embrace
boys.
Execution.
That's my boys.
That's who you need to be listening to.
It wasn't them. It was somebody
else.
They split.
It's really cool though.
They split up maybe like 8 years. This is it. You don't know. You put those waves out there. And you don't know who's picking them up. You know what I mean?
And that's it, man. It's all good. Any highlights then from the Output Fest today? I know we really watched Matt Bacon. He's brilliant. But it's like we were saying. He says a lot of stuff. It is things you should have by our age figured out already, but it's also a lot of stuff that someone new to the scene, it would be a gold mine of information.
100%. And I think the thing that a lot of people don't realize is like there's people in bands and stuff that like they love the music and they love making music and they're all intuitive with that, but maybe they're like they don't know how to grow social media. Maybe they're like not into that. A lot of people aren't into it. You know, it's like it is a toxic environment, obviously, right?
Sometimes you gotta try shit and see what works.
It's a tool that's there at your disposal, and if you use it correctly, then it'll benefit you. Like to me, I see things like people don't want to post a lot and have like their face in everyone's face. Right?
No one wants to look like they're
like,
trying too hard.
He's trying too hard, right? But
and there's trying too hard with nothing. Like 7 posts a day about look at my fucking cat, or 7 posts a day about here's a new song, here's a new guitar, here's a new amp, here's a new merch. That's different. If you've actually got something to say.
This is the thing. Is like I feel like there's a real like there's a culture of people are like embarrassed to do these kind of things, and I am because I get it. I'm kind of like I'm an awkward kind of person anyway. But like I think. Like, you go back to the 1980s, right? Metallica released a new album. How do you know about it, right? You know about it because it's in a magazine. Yeah. Or
there's a lot of underground tape swapping back in them days.
Or that. Or it's on a billboard, right? Yeah. So you see a billboard and you go, oh, I'll go check that out. Or they're playing here. I'll go to that, right? Yeah. To me, a billboard is like the old version of like
Facebook or something.
Like it coming up on your phone. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, the medium has changed, but it's the same thing. That's my opinion on it. Do you know what I mean?
You're exactly right, man.
Like
like buying an ad.
There's still a bias about it.
Putting a billboard up, except someone's more likely to see it on their phone.
Yeah. Somebody's sitting on the toilet and it comes up. You know what I mean? I'll go to that.
Who are you following at the moment locally for social media games? There's a lot of bands out there doing a lot of different things. Acid Age are hilarious. They're just in your face, fucking ballsy stuff. There's a young band I'm following at the minute called The Crown Remains. They're also doing a very active social media game.
Crown Remains?
Yeah, pushing their new song.
I don't think I've came across them yet. I'll check that out.
Younger ones. There's also bands out there doing really hilarious shit. There's bands out there. It's the social media game. I think
it's taboo.
Whether you like it or not, you have to do it.
Yeah, 100%. Like on my own personal like social media. But like before the band, I would post on that. Like, I mean, you're talking annually. Yeah, it's once a year. But it's like obviously I'm learning how to do it.
But sure, we were watching Matt Bacon earlier, and he's talking about you should be posting 5 times a day.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it should be 5 useful pieces of info, not just pictures of your fucking feet or whatever the hell people post on the internet. It's
a tricky situation. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. But you may as well do it. You know what I mean?
Just like be active, but make it good stuff. Don't, show 100%. Us lots, but just nothing bad.
And like, I think a big thing for me is like, say if you're going to post something and you're like, oh, maybe this is a wee bit out of my comfort zone. Yeah. Maybe, such and such I've known from the scene from years ago might be like, ugh, like disappointed in you because it's embarrassing he's done that because I wouldn't do that. But it's like somebody over the water or something maybe says it and like, oh, this is amazing. It's like, right, well then if he thinks it's amazing and this guy who like what's the point in trying to forge an opinion out of this person who maybe isn't doing anything, then like what's worth doing? Do you know what I mean? Like I think there's a big thing to be gained from just being like, who cares? You know what I mean? If some people wouldn't like it, just do it anyway.
Fuck them.
Literally.
Do what works for you. Do what you think is right. Do what you believe in. Don't let anyone discrediting you or disparaging you. Obviously, negative feedback is important, but if someone's doing it just for the sake of being negative, don't pay attention to it.
Yeah. And there's a lot to be said for that. I think there is. Because it can be really like difficult to get stuck into that trap of like, oh, but what about the sort of people I see? Yeah. Kind of like forget about that. You know what I mean? I think just do what's good for you.
In his talk, made a very good point as well. And when you're delivering content, who is it for, and how does it affect them?
Exactly.
And that's all that matters.
One thing out of that.
Who doesn't like it?
Whose eyes benefit you? Because if somebody's watching what you're doing, right, and you know them, but they're not going to actually benefit the growth at any point, whether they like it or not, then what's the point in thinking about what they think about what you're doing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there just isn't.
And also, if somebody doesn't like it, fuck them. Let them not
100%.
like it, and let them not like it all the way down the road away from you.
100%.
But that's brilliant. That's cool. Awesome, man. So yeah, like I said, here at the Output Festival, it's all about music promotion and music conferencing, music, everything.
Learning how to make things work for you.
Learning how to make things work. In Archives, you've done a lot of things to make things work. Your social media game's strong, videos are strong, singles are strong. What is it that you do to just keep everything being strong? Is there somebody whose job it is to walk around and slap everybody? Is there someone whose job it is to come up with everything?
I mean, we don't necessarily have anyone that's a leader. I don't think anyway. I think everyone in this
Depend on
band.
project.
Yeah,
really?
yeah. Everyone in this band serves their purpose of what they bring that pushes it forward. But it all just brings it back to that page of just doing something you've never done before. Do you know what I mean? As long as we're doing something we've never done before that's planned ahead, the next 6 months are worth it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's the way I look at it.
Brilliant.
And I think if you follow that, you'll never fall back and just be repeating. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the way I look at it.
Brilliant, man. Brilliant.
You know?
That's class. So when you guys are, you've done everything with Josh. When you just go in with Josh, do you have things demoed out, or do you let him have a bit of free reign over what happens in the songs, or is it very much this is exactly how it goes, you just make it sound good?
So, I mean, it's sort of hit and miss. Like, a lot of the time, more recently, we've sort of started, like, demoing everything. And then you have, like, a full idea of what it is, you know? But, like, I feel like your full idea of what it is before you go into the studio changes, because you're in the studio and then you hear maybe the way drums are laid down, you go, oh, maybe this would be good that way, blah, blah, blah. Like, in terms of, like, letting him do what he wants, I think we're very, very open in terms of what Josh wants.
Right.
Like, because, not necessarily what he wants, but, like, where he sees it going. Because, like, at the end of the day, like, he knows what he's doing. He's producing. And, like, see if he does something and you're like, oh, I don't like that, then you can just take that bit out. Do you know what I mean? But he is a component in creating the finished product.
When I was speaking with Foreign Wolf, they basically were saying they give Josh a full producer credit on the album and let him have a lot of free reign. Would you let him have a lot of free reign, or would you be very specific about what you want him to do?
I don't think we're nitpicky. Although maybe he'll say different. I don't think we are. I think we let him have free reign, and then we'll maybe, like, after he's had full reign, maybe we'll pull it in a wee bit. But, like, overall, like, we wouldn't go to him if we didn't like what he did. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like that's the way it works for us, you know.
Brilliant. So a lot of the additional elements, like, obviously with Archives being a hardcore band, the general gist of the song is probably the rhythm and the verses and the whole, you know, trajectory of it. How many extra little elements would Josh be responsible for, if any?
So Josh, he would add a lot of the sort of, like, the electronic aspects, the stuff that would end up in backing track. That sort of thing, like, sort of like post stuff. Yep. You know what I mean? Like,
and then you have them on track to add live anyway.
Yeah.
And playing with a track, that's how, when you're rehearsing, do you rehearse with the track?
Yes.
And make it fucking harder? Does it make it a bit more like counting on the click than jamming with your mates?
So, yeah, for me personally, as the vocalist, it's not that difficult because, like we started out, I was on the in-ears, but, like, I personally don't follow it anymore because I feel like I need to sort of hear what the room's hearing, which I feel like out of a full band, it's not a bad idea for somebody to be following what the room hears. Because, like, if something goes wrong,
you need to hear
then nobody in hears it apart from, do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So everybody in our band is on in-ears and they're following the click, etc.
Brilliant.
And that works perfectly for timing. I'm like, say there's like 10 seconds in between a track, I'll know roughly that's what
Catch
it is.
Your breath.
I don't have it here to
Time
tell me, which is a wee bit panicking, but at least I know exactly what it sounds like in the room.
You could use a wee visual click, you know, it gives you a wee light.
That would be good.
visual. You can also get a watch that'll vibrate. I've seen those
I feel,
as well.
I feel like if I have things like that though, I'm hyper aware of it. Do you know what I
you're
mean?
Looking for it instead of just
Yeah.
enjoying the song. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like I don't know how it works for us works good. You know what I mean? At the minute until we change it.
It was.
You know
I
what I
can't
mean?
remember. It was Nat or Kidos. We were talking about getting me a sweatband that vibrated on the click, and it just sounded like too
That would
much
put me
fucking
off.
around. I was like, can I just learn a fucking song? Like,
I run about too much to pay attention to that. You know what I mean?
but though that click is important, especially when you're in those tech bands where it's just fucking somebody goes off it, you're all fucked.
I just got to know when the breakdown is.
Oh, brilliant. Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, it's cool to hear about how you fucking do stuff in the studio. When you take that to live then, and it comes from taking the archive songs from the studio to live, what is your process from, like, you've gone in, you've layered it all up, you have your backing track, so now you're taking it away and you're going to deliver it with 2 live guitars and a backing track and a live vocal. Do you add things in or strip things out, or?
For the most part, it's pretty much matched. Because like I feel like the backing track is everything that needs to be backing tracked.
Yep.
And then, like when we're practicing, obviously it's like A to B exactly. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's just a game of just figuring it out. Like maybe the odd time will be like, oh, we need a wee bit more of this or something, but it's very rare. Do you know what I mean?
Brilliant.
Like I feel like we make up the rest, and like some of our songs, like definitely certain points sound different live.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a wee bit less of what's in the backing, a wee bit more of the guitar, but I feel like that's half the charm of live, is that it's like, oh, that sounded banging live. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but it's pretty much as the record.
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it is for the most part, but there's
Brilliant.
live elements. You know, it's not fully like this is like fucking
Yeah.
Kelly Clarkson. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Nice one. Any then festival plans for next year, 2025?
I mean, there's lots of stuff we have our eyes on.
Mm-hmm. Nothing. I'm sure you don't want to give anything away at this early stage.
There's nothing that we can name drop.
But shit should be happening.
There's shit should be happening. We've our eyes on a lot of things, as we always do. You know what I mean? If things happen, things happen. If things don't, things don't. But
Awesome.
we're always gunning for something. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sure you'll fucking get it, man, because like Archives, one of my favorites anyway. And
Thank you, bro.
looking forward to seeing what you do next and everything else coming forward. I think that about wraps it up for a little pop-up podcast in the Outfit Fest.
Pop-up podcast with some Guinness.
We're gonna track down Matt Bacon and drag him out for pints.
That's the plan. I've
That's
been told.
the
So
plan. Awesome. Well, this has been the Rig Rundown. I'm here with Adam from Archives.
thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll catch
Check
you
us
later.
out.